Hey guys, welcome to the Monday night team up call. I am so excited about tonight. We have a special guest, Jana Stephenson, with us, and you all know her. She's a part of the team up organization also. Jana is a retired registered nurse and a certified health coach. She's been married to her husband, Ken, for 32 years, and they have 3 children. Together, they are just such an active family. They run marathons, half marathons. They've completed century bike rides, and recently they enjoyed hiking the Grand Canyon rim to rim in one day. So you guys, she's just a cool, fun, fit woman to be around, and I'm excited to get to hear her share more about building really great relationships with our customers and how that amazing customer service can lead to just a successful business. So, Jana, take it away.
All right, thank you, Amber. Okay, I am going to go in here and share the screen. And so hopefully we'll get this going here. Okay, all right, can everybody see that okay? Yeah, okay. All right, good. Well, thank you again, Amber, and we will just go ahead and get this started. Let's see here. All right. All right, so I'm going to start off by telling y'all a little bit about my Juice Plus story, just introduce you a little bit. As Amber said, I have been married to Ken for 32 years, and we have 3 kids and a beautiful daughter-in-law. I'm a retired RN. My husband, Ken, is an orthopedic surgeon, and we were introduced to Juice Plus by Kathy Crockett about 10 years ago. When we started taking Juice Plus, we had a very limited knowledge of the power of nutrition. And as we spent more and more time around the Juice Plus community, we began hearing stories of how fruits and vegetables change people's lives. But my problem was that I really didn't have a health crisis. I felt healthy, my checkups were great, my numbers were good. So in my mind, I didn't really feel like I had a health testimony. As a matter of fact, I felt kind of like this.
I don't know. My testimony is sometimes I wish I had a better. You ever do that? You wish you had a better testimony in your life. You're sitting in church and you listen to a guy on stage. You're like, man, he has an awesome testimony. I have a horrible one. I wish I was addicted to crack. Thanks, God.
So I don't know about any of y'all. I don't know if you've ever felt that way, but I quickly realized that my thinking was wrong because I do have a testimony. And here's what I had. Oh, don't need that to happen again. Hold on just a second.
I don't know.
Let me see.
My testimony is sometimes I wish I.
Here we go. All right. So what I do have a my mom and my father and my brother have type 1 diabetes. My mom has breast cancer that she struggled with. My father also had heart disease, and my mom had a stroke. And so I do have a testimony, and that testimony is that my genetic code does not have to dictate my future. So as I was kind of processing all of this, my thinking started changing from one of crisis care to one of prevention. I learned that nutrition and lifestyle will either turn on or off the disease-promoting genes. And we actually have a beautiful study now that shows that Juice Plus in the body does exactly that. It turns off those genes that promote diseases. I also learned that the vast majority of time, health is a choice. And so as my understanding started changing, I began realizing that my product why, the reason why I took Juice Plus, helped me relate to my customers. But as I began to build my business, I began understanding that knowing my customers why would help me build a business. Gordon Hester, and I want to stop right here. I want to credit him for a lot of the information in this PowerPoint, because he helped me realize the importance in building relationships and having that mindset as you are building a business. But he said one of the biggest failure points in business is the process between making a sale and earning a relationship. He also said that for most businesses, one of the most significant costs is the acquisition of the customer. That is why it is critical to turn that customer into a relationship. So I want you to think about this, and I want you to ask the question, do you find it easier to acquire a customer or to keep a customer? So let's go ahead. I want to break things down for you a little bit. When you're talking to somebody about Juice Plus, when you're wanting to make a sale, you need to identify a need or an expectation. So if you don't, if somebody doesn't see a need for the product, chances are, unless they're your mom and they love you, they're probably not going to purchase that product, right? So we need to identify, be able to see what is that need, what is that expectation. Now, if we can show that that expectation or that need has been fulfilled, then we're beginning to develop a relationship. However, we need to know that if making that sale is the top priority, then long term, our business is going to struggle. On the other hand, we need to realize that if building a relationship drives that sale, then long term, we're going to have a stable business. So we've got a key principle showing up here, and that principle is long-term relationships equal long-term success. So how do we build relationships? Well, in order to build a relationship, what do you have to do? You have to get to know somebody, right? We have a beautiful tool on the missiondrivenmodel.info. Our company gives it to us. It's missiondrivenmodel.info. You can find it, and also you can find it on healthylivingrevolution.com. And it is called the customer profile. And this profile is a tool that helps us gather information that will help us build relationship with our customers and with our clients. But as you're utilizing this profile, there are 3 critical questions that you're going to want to ask. And the first one is, why did your customer decide to or make the decision to order Juice Plus? As I began utilizing this, here are some of the reasons that came to the forefront for me. A lot of people, they had gained weight. They wanted a program for a healthier lifestyle, and they wanted to lose weight. Other people were picky eaters, or they had picky eaters in their family, and they were interested in developing healthier habits. I had several people that just wanted to get off medications. They were tired of the side effects that they were experiencing because of meds. And then there are a lot of people that we have worked with that have been in health crisis, and they recognize that need to make changes. A second critical question that you're going to want to ask yourself as you're utilizing this tool is, how does your customer know that their need or expectation has been fulfilled? And this is real important. Needs and expectations have a way of being measured. However, it is critical to understand how your customer measures the fulfillment of their need. And I want to give you a couple of examples of what I'm talking about here. Okay, now both of these examples that I'm going to give you are actually were text given to me, so some of the grammar may not be exactly right, but I think you'll get the gist of it. This one was easy to measure because he had gone to the doctor. His triglycerides were in the 800s. His cholesterol was sky high, and he wanted to lower these numbers, but he did not want to go on the medications that the doctors were talking about. And so he went on the garden orchard, he went on the trio, garden, orchard, and vineyard. 9 months later, they redrew his blood, and his triglycerides were 122. That's easy to measure. The expectation that he wanted was accomplished. That was successful, and so a relationship was made. We have a lifetime customer here because he was happy with this. Now, here's another example. This gentleman, I had been talking to him. He started the Shred 10 program, and I had been talking to him about the importance of taking his before and after pictures. I talked to him several times. Well, in following up, he got back with me. He wanted nothing to do with taking the pictures. He was not interested in that, but he was very happy to step on the scale and measure it that way. And so I had to recognize that that was the way he wanted to do it, and I needed to be okay with that. And here's another example that I want to give you. If you're working with somebody, they're changing their lifestyle and they're wanting to lose weight. Well, if in your mind you have a good weight loss goal as a pound a week, and they have in their mind a good weight loss goal, a pound a day, you can see how there is going to be a disconnect there, right? And if there is not some education done on that, then there's a good chance that you're going to have an unhappy customer. So make sure that you clarify how your customer is measuring those results. And here's a third critical question that you're going to want to ask. How does your customer, what does your customer expect from you? Okay, now, do you have your customer's best interest at heart, and do they feel appreciated? And I really have to check myself sometimes. A good measure of this is when it comes time to make those calls. Are you hesitant? Are you afraid to make those calls because you're afraid they might cancel? Make sure that no matter what the outcome is, you know that your customer knows that you will bend over backward to accommodate them, that you have their best interest at heart, whatever the outcome. Make sure they know that they're appreciated. But the second thing about this is, are you and is Juice Plus able to fulfill that need or that expectation? Now, I want to say this because this is why it is so very, very important that we're careful about what we claim about Juice Plus, okay? And we never ever want to claim anything that is not substantiated by the research. We don't claim cures, and I know you all know that, but it's real important to remember this. And it's also kind of a good rule of thumb to under-promise and over-deliver. I know y'all have heard that before, but also make sure that your customer's expectation is realistic, okay? And I want to give you an example, an example from my experience. We have a couple of sisters that have a genetic disease that is, there's no cure for it. And it's where the mitochondria in their muscles is breaking down. It's a slow process, but it causes them to have no use of their muscles. And so there's no cure, but we wanted to introduce them to Juice Plus, thinking that it would give them a better quality of life for the time that they have remaining, and hopefully help them to fight off sicknesses, because they get sick very easily. They were on it for a couple of months, and they had been doing great on it. And I was visiting with them, and one of the sisters said, I just can't wait until I start feeling a difference and start seeing some results. And my heart sunk. I felt horrible, and I had to have a very difficult conversation with her and educate her that Juice Plus would not reverse any of the symptoms, and it would not cure her. If I would have had the foresight to have that clear conversation ahead of time and let her know that this was just to help their quality of life and maybe help them fight off sicknesses, and not give them that hope that it would reverse symptoms or anything, I would have felt a lot better about the situation. And so there wouldn't have been failed expectations there. So that's what I mean by making sure that patient expectations are realistic there. So we know that our customer profile helps us build relationship income by providing a tool to help us identify our customers' needs and expectations. It also helps us to identify potential team members. And I love this because at the bottom of that profile, the very last question, it says, who have you told about Juice Plus? And this is a wonderful question and a great way to transition into inviting them into team. And it's a very natural, as they begin saying, I've told my aunt, I've told my neighbors, I've told, you know, it is a very natural way to say, hey, would you ever consider joining our team? And would you be open to a conversation? And so I love this. You've spent this time developing a relationship, and now it's just an easy transition into, hey, come join me in this mission. It also helps us know how to flip the script in our customer's mind and how to change their mindset. And let me show you exactly what I'm talking about on that. As I've done customer care, I'm sure that you have all encountered different issues when you've called them. Some of the most recent that I have come up with, this one lately, I had a customer tell me, I don't really feel any different. I don't know if this is working. I was able to pull her customer profile, and I looked on there, and the reason that she wanted to start Juice Plus is because her kids were always sick and she was having to miss work so much. And so I was able to ask her, well, tell me, what does prevention feel like? And let's look back at your kids' school year. How many times did they have to call in sick this past semester? So I knew what her need was, I knew what her expectation was, and we were able to look at it and measure it. And I knew that because I had it written down on my customer profile. Here's another one. I had somebody tell me I can't afford Juice Plus. Because I had spent the time to develop a relationship with her, I knew that this particular person was struggling with some autoimmune disorder, and she was trying desperately to keep from having to add medication. And so I was able to ask her, and again, because we had developed a relationship, I was able to ask her a tough question. I was able to say, tell me, if you can't afford to invest in your health with Juice Plus, how are you going to be able to afford to pay for your medical bills? And so if I had not developed that relationship, I don't think I could have just asked anybody that question. And it gave me a good tool to be able to do that. And then here's another one. I haven't been consistent in taking it, and I am stocked up. And so I was able to look on there, and this was back in the fall. And so I was able to say, okay, that's all right, no problem. You know this is cold and flu season, so let's double up. Let's get you caught up. But tell me, where are you putting that so that we won't forget to take it? And again, on your customer profile, there is a spot for you to put down exactly where they plan to put it so they can remember to take it. I was able to look at that and say, okay, have you been putting it on your counter? Has that not been successful? Is there another place? And we were able to explore that. So gives you great tool, a great place to store that information so that when you are doing your customer care, you can come back, look at that, and you'll have something to talk with them about. And then finally, and this one is just, it's my favorite, because we all have tough days in this business. We all have Mondays, right? And sometimes we have a week of Mondays. But using this customer profile helps to encourage you by affirming the importance. It helps encourage you as the distributor by affirming the importance of what we do. And let me show you something. As I was going back through, and I do this periodically just to remind me that what we are doing is worthwhile and what we are doing is good. And so as I was going back through my customer profile, I found some things that were worth celebrating. Craig said, since November, I've lost 45 pounds. I'm still on my meds, but my blood pressure is in good range. Tony said, I am off all my prescription medications and I feel so much better. And because I feel better, I do a better job of battling my kids when it comes to having them eat right. And then Pam says, I feel better and I'm able to walk more. I don't always do a good job of sticking to the shred guidelines, but the shakes are a lifesaver. And I noticed that my nails and my hair is looking better too. And then John said, I have lost over 20 pounds since I started. This is the easiest program I've ever done. And so to me, it is good to look back, find those things worth celebrating and remember them. But here's what I really want to show you. I want you guys to meet Bobby. Whenever I first met Bobby, he weighed over 500 pounds. He came into my husband's office. He's a type 2 diabetic. He had a below-the-knee amputation, and he was in danger of having his other foot amputated. And at that point, he said, okay, what can I, he said, hey, doc, what can I do? And so my husband introduced him to Juice Plus. We started working with him, got him on a Shred 10 program. 2 years later, he has gone from taking 156 units of insulin daily to taking between 15 and 30 units of insulin daily. His blood glucose levels are down from an average of 350 to 120, and he has lost, and this has actually gone up, he has lost 150 pounds now. And so to me, that makes it worth it, just to see these results. And so here is what relationships sound like, you guys. Bobby said, Juice Plus probably saved my life, and as far as I am concerned, it is a miracle. It is part of my life now. And so getting to know your customers and developing those relationships and being able to look back at those results will keep you going when things don't look so great. So as we're implementing this, how do we get started? I know that whenever I first saw this, I thought, I don't have time to add this. But I have quickly come to realize that I don't have time not to. And so some of the different ways that I get started, obviously, are of course when you're first taking that order is the best time. You know, just ask them the questions then, and literally it takes, I mean, unless you get somebody that's really talkative, it takes 3 to 5 minutes, and jot down that information. Another is for those existing customers, just prior to their next shipment, as you're calling them, just ask, hey, can I ask you a couple of questions? And then sometimes if maybe in my DMO I have a lull and I'm not sure what to do, I will send out a text blitz. And I'll just say, hey, so-and-so, this is Jana Stephenson, your Juice Plus representative. I'm implementing a program to help me better serve you and meet your needs. Would you have about 5 minutes that I could schedule with you to ask a few questions? And then anybody that responds to me, I'll just take that opportunity to get their information at that point if I haven't already. So as we close, I just want to leave you with another quote from Gordon Hester. He says, in the end, the most successful businesses are the ones that build relationship income. When you make earning relationships the focus of your business, I can assure you the benefit will be far greater than you ever imagined possible. So I hope that this was helpful to you guys, and I sure appreciate you giving me the opportunity to speak.
Thank you so much, Jana. That was such great information, and I know that I certainly have been encouraging my team to make sure they get that customer profile sheet from the Mission Driven Model website and make it a priority. And I just love the way that you are integrating it, you know, into your DMO. That was a great idea. Before that next shipment goes out, just ask that customer, you know, if it's something you've not been doing, this is a great time to start before they get their next shipment. So thank you so much. And you guys, I just want to thank you all for joining us tonight. Continue to just share our mission. You never know when you're going to find a Bobby that, you know, this may be a life change, a life of saver and a life changing experience for that person. So continue to share your blessings and just keep paying it forward. You guys have a great night, and we'll see you next week.